Guys, so today's video is probably going to be entitled Traveling Alone. I recently took a trip by myself and I want to share that with you guys. But while I was on the trip, I actually wrote something, little poem there, and it's a rough draft, so don't judge me too hard. I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my work. But yeah, this is what I wrote. So, of course, it's entitled Traveling Alone. The moment I stepped into the hotel room, I cried. As tears filled my eyes, I thought about every time I had been in a hotel room, it had been with someone else. Never alone, by myself. And at that moment, I felt a mixture of joy and pain. I stopped the tears before they made a stain. The second time I stepped into the hotel room, I was relieved that no one was here to witness my heart bleed thoughts and memories. After a shower, I wanted nothing more than to eat and go to bed before the thoughts in my heart overtook my head. It was only 6 p.m. and I wanted nothing more than to get under the covers. After cave exploring, a normal person would be elated. And if I wasn't by myself, I probably would have faked it. The third time my feet hit the hotel room floor, I thought, there is no way I'm walking out of that door today. My body ached. As my heart raced, my hands began to shake, trying to remember if I had brought Advil to this place. I took a couple of pills and I prayed that what was meant for a migraine would take the cramps away. Slowly but surely, I started feeling better. As my mind, my body, my heart started to settle. The fourth time my feet hit the hotel room floor, I felt much better than I'd felt before. Came to realize I can do this all by myself. I mean, look at me. I'm staying in a king-size suite. Complimentary breakfast that can't be beat. I could sit here and watch what I want to watch. Walk around in whatever I want without a second thought. The air in here is set how I like. Not too hot, not too cold, like baby bears, just right. I have this whole king-size bed to myself. I turned off the TV because I felt like it. My room is as clean as I want it to be. I don't have to rush or wait to go pee. I can be me. I can stick to my schedule or switch it all up. I'ma enjoy myself no matter what. So that is the poem I wrote, guys. Sorry. That is the poem I wrote on my first day. Well, it was my second day. And I went to San Antonio. And for me, that was a huge step. When I say a huge step, I mean a huge step. Because naturally, I am an introvert. And I overthink a lot. I can get anxious sometimes about certain situations. If there's gonna be like too many people, I can get pretty anxious about stuff sometimes. So for me to take this trip was, if y'all knew me, it's like a major step for me. And actually, before I took the trip, I was talking to my friends, and the more I talked, it was like the more I talked myself out of it. And they were getting upset with me because I kept talking myself out of it. And they was like, you do this all the time. Just go. Like, you need this. And I'm not going to lie, that trip could not have been at a better time, because I feel like that week I was almost at like a mental breakdown point. Like, I was frustrated, I was overwhelmed, I was hurt, I was angry. It was so many feelings that I was feeling, and it was from so many different situations. It was like my mind was on overload. And they were absolutely right. I needed the trip. But I almost missed out on it by talking myself out of it. So just because of how I was feeling, when I got ready to head out, I put my phone on vibrate, left it on vibrate for the whole trip. I couldn't like necessarily turn it off, even though I kind of wanted to. Um, I still wanted to make sure that I was safe, because I am in a city that I really don't know too much about by myself. But but the freedom in putting my phone on vibrate was the fact that I can go and answer it at any time I want. You know, there were no pressing issues. There was nothing that was like, oh, okay, you got to make this, you got to answer this phone call. You have to be here at a certain time. And that was freedom in itself, just to be able to turn my phone on vibrate and not worry about anybody needing me. Um, and I am a planner when it comes to stuff like that, especially when it's just me. I don't like wasted time. Like if I'm going somewhere, I don't want to just go and be like, oh, I'll do whatever. I have to have some sort of plan. And I kind of got carried away when I was planning. I planned it down to like, okay, I'm gonna do this in the morning. I'm gonna go do this, and then while I'm waiting on this, I'm gonna go do this. I was just like planning. Um, but at the same time, the beauty of it was I didn't have to stick to the schedule. If I wanted to not do something, I could not do it. Or if I wanted to add something to do, I could do that. I kind of left myself open. I overbooked myself, um, so I could pick and choose what I was feeling for those few days. Um, so when I finally got to San Antonio, the first day was probably the hardest for me. Like in the poem, I got in my room, I started crying. I didn't even have my bags in the room yet. Like the lady gave me the key. I was taking all the stuff that I had on off. I took it up to the room, went to go check the room, make sure everything was good. And as soon as the door closed, it was like tears just started falling down my face because I've always been with somebody, like my sisters, we'll take a trip or, um, like family or friends, like it's always with somebody. And I had to like, I was like, suck it back up, suck the tears back up, go get your bags. And then you can have, your mental breakdown. That's what I was telling myself. You can have your mental breakdown after you go get your bags, but you still have to be in front of people, so fix your face. I kept telling myself that. So I went downstairs, I got my bags. I came back up and I thought I was just gonna be like boohoo crying. Couple tears, found their way down my face. That one single solitary thug tear, you know what I'm saying? Um, but at that point, I was kind of battling like I kind of wanted to go home, but the time it took me to get there, I was like, no, I'm staying. You know what I'm saying? I went through traffic. Like, I was like, no, I'm staying. But I was thinking about staying in my room also, like, the whole trip. Like, not doing nothing. Like, staying in my room, eating, um, getting some ice cream, and, like, crying the whole time. Like, that was like, okay, this is how I'm going to spend my trip. And, I was like, you know what? I've had a full day. Because that first day before I went to the hotel, I went cave exploring. And I love cave exploration. I love it. Spelunking. I love it. Um, and I was, exhausted because I just drove, like 4 or 5 hours. Got stuck in traffic a few times. And did the cave exploring. We walked a lot. It was a lot of stairs, a lot of inclines, and by the time I got to the hotel, I was beat. Like, sorry, I was beat. Like, I got my food. I was done for the day. Didn't want to do nothing else. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was tired. And I just kind of lounged around, which was like amazing because I could lounge around. Um, and it wasn't until the second day that the freedom actually came for me. The first day, I think I was kind of out of it. I was like, I'm here, kind of going through the motions, like doing some stuff, but not really doing too much. And that second day is when I decided to, go up and down the river walk. Um, I went to this place called the Japanese Tea Garden. Um, and I went to another place. I think it was called like Amazing Maze or something. And once I went to that Japanese tea garden, y'all, I love nature. So once I went to that Japanese tea garden, it was like it was over. Like I was so excited. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And it was serene. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. It had all these like little duck off spots. So if you wanted to be alone, you could, and be surrounded by nature and beauty. And it had the koi fish pond. It had like a waterfall. It was, oh gosh, it was so gorgeous, y'all. If y'all ever go to San Antonio, Japanese tea garden is absolutely free. You can go in. I would say the best time to go is as early as possible. I think they open at like 7, just so you don't have to deal with too many people. Um, but it was gorgeous. Um, and it was after that, after I had left the Japanese tea garden, that it just kind of clicked in my mind, like I can do this. You know, everything just kind of like fell into place, and it was like I can go, I can enjoy this trip. You know what I'm saying? Without being afraid of, where I'm gonna go, who I'm gonna talk to, who I'm gonna eat with. Like it was like after I got to the tea garden, I was just like, yes, I'm alone. Yay, spirit fingers. And it was crazy because like everything that I did in the trip, it was what I was comfortable with. I was in my comfort zone. So if I, had wrote something down that I wanted to go, a place that I wanted to go eat or a place that I wanted to go visit, and I didn't feel like doing it, like I could change at the drop of a hat and nobody was relying on me. Um, and like I said, I went to the tea garden. I went to Amazing Maze, which is kind of like they had escape rooms and like this maze that you get to go through. I really think it's for kids, but I had fun anyways. Like adults can go, and that was the beauty of it. I could be a big kid. I was downtown in San Antonio. Yo, if you know me going downtown is like a huge step because I hate downtown anywhere. I hate one ways. I hate parking garages. I hate the fact that it is so much traffic in this one confined space. I hate that you have to pay for parking everywhere you go. Like nothing's free unless you want to get your car broken into. Like I do not like downtown of any city. And I went downtown. I parked. I paid for parking. I was just walking around and I got on the little scooter, the little bird scooters, and I had so much fun. That thing goes fast. I almost got knocked on my hindquarters a couple of times because I didn't realize how fast that scooter was. But it was just like I was just zipping, through people. Now that I think about it, I don't think I was supposed to ride it on sidewalks, but I did, nobody like arrested me. But it was cool, because if it was somewhere I wanted to stop and look at, I could go look at. And I rode around, I think it was like for about 10 minutes or so, and it was like $5 or something. It wasn't really expensive. It was that was the best part. It wasn't expensive. Um, but yeah, that second day, that's when everything pretty much clicked for me and I felt good. By the time I got back to the hotel room, I was like, okay, I can relax. I came, I did, I saw whatever, and I had fun. And when I was headed back home, a part of me was ready, like ready to go home. And the other part was like, oh, I wish I had one more day. But I was like, I'll come back. I can come back at any time. Um, but when I got back home, it was probably like 11:30, 12 in the at 12 noon. And I wanted to go do something because I wanted to make sure that when I got back, I didn't revert back to my old ways, that I didn't just come back, go in my house, lock the doors, sit there and just wait. I was like, I got a whole day. I can do whatever I want to do. So I decided to go grab me a bite to eat, go sit, chill, people watch. And when I got back, I called one of my friends and told him, I was like, hey, if you want to, you can come and hang out with me. I'm going to be here. And he was like, well, I think he had to do something or he was getting ready to go to work or something. I don't remember. But he was like, you just took a whole trip by yourself, so you don't have to wait for somebody else to go with you. He was like, go by yourself. I said, you know what? You sure right. I'm going to go by myself. And I'm glad that I did because I got to sit there. I didn't have to try to engage in conversation with nobody. I didn't have to try to impress anybody. Um, I could grab whatever I wanted to eat, and just chill and people watch. And that trip gave me a whole new attitude, like about myself. Like, I realized that I can. And when I came back, it was stuff to do. It was like pick up where you left off, and it was a lot of like back to back stuff that I had to do, a lot of things I had to accomplish. But I went after it because in my head I was like, I can do this, instead of sitting and procrastinating. I went after everything I needed to do, and I was just like, I would look up and I write what I do down every day, in my planner. So I wrote down everything that I was doing, like that same week after I got back. And I would go back and look, and it was like the whole day had been full, and I didn't even realize it. It was just like, you know, it gave me a new attitude, like a do it attitude. Like, you can do this. You can go to school. You can get up and go somewhere without waiting on somebody. You can, get whatever you need to get accomplished. So my next accomplishment is to take like a flight by myself, or do like a cruise or something that does not require just me getting in the car and driving. But that's going to be my next accomplishment. And if you have not traveled alone, I suggest it. I really do. Safely travel alone. But I do suggest it because it will give you this whole new outlook on you. You learn so much about yourself when you are by yourself. And the first thing that I grabbed was not my phone. You know what I'm saying? I grabbed my pen and paper. And it was just the freedom of doing what I want when I want it. Being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, in an uncomfortable place that I mean, I've been there before, but I was like a lot younger. And just the discomfort of getting, just the idea of getting out of my comfort zone and still being able to be me and still being able to be comfortable. That was the beauty of it. So again, if you haven't traveled alone, do it. I suggest it. I recommend it. Go somewhere that, you've been like, oh, let me go take a road trip. Even if it's like Glen Rose, you know what I'm saying? Like a trip that's like an hour away. Do whatever you got to do. And, like get to be by yourself. Get to know yourself. I highly recommend it. So that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully I said something that freed somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm about. I'm trying to help y'all learn the lessons that I done already learned. So, or that I'm in the process of learning. But yeah, travel by yourself, man. Get out there, go, do, and be. You will be surprised what you can accomplish. You'll be surprised, how you react to certain situations that you are not comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? After you actually get in the situation. It's pretty cool. So that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all have a fantabulous day. I will see y'all in the next video. It didn't stop, did it? Okay. Still working on the whole like stop and starting thing. So, all right, guys.